Stephen Harper, Sarah Palin, and Lindsay Lohan. 3 people you just don't care about. This is the Not So Much News. Welcome back, everyone, to the Not So Much News on RUtv. I'm Anand Ram, and I'm all alone. No Juliana, no Matt, 1 or 2. Just me. And yes, at first I was afraid. I was petrified. Kept thinking I could never live without them by my side. But I spent so many nights thinking how they did me wrong, and I grew strong. So I said, go on then. Walk out the door. Because you know what? You're not welcome anymore. They tried to hurt me with goodbye, thought I'd lay down and die. Oh no, not I. Moving on to our top story, Stephen Harper has discovered this wild, new, crazy thing called YouTubes. What's that? There's no S, just YouTube. In an effort to hear from the people, he asked citizens to send in their questions and responses to his budget so that he could answer some of them next week. Oh goody, because nothing stirs democratic discussion than YouTube comments. And I quote from Mitch W. in Southern Ontario, "Marijuana should not only be legal, as it has been stated here several times why, MJ is safer. We need to start utilizing hemp," and hemp is capitalized by the way, "for fuel and paper and everything else." Thanks, Mitch. You're doing us proud. Keep living off of Cheetos and playing guitar in the quad. But seriously, Harper, do you really want to subject yourself to more of this?
Stephen Harper, my man, it's your boy B-Train, video messaging you all the way from the SOG. Dude, what I want to know is, how much soft wood could a soft woodchuck chuck if a soft woodchuck could chuck soft wood? Riddle me that. Peace!
Sup, Steve? As a poor college student, I'd kind of like more money. More free money from the government. That'd be great. Free money.
Recording, man. Yo, Stephen Harper, man. You guys just listen to me about Seal Hunt, man. Cause Seal Hunt, man. Yo, I gotta comb my beard or something. Yeah, man. Yo, Seal Hunt's what? Yeah, weed.
Good luck, Steve. In other Canadian news, well, not really Canadian, more like Northwest American, Sarah Palin made headlines this week when she let slip that her family used to hustle on over the border for some good old-fashioned socialism. You know who does that? Mavericks. According to Palin, when she was younger, her brother burned his ankle in some little kid accident thing, and he was rushed to the Yukon for treatment. Now, I know what you and the liberal media are thinking. How can someone so opposed to the public option and who thinks poorly of Canada's government-run healthcare system now feel that way when she owes the life of her brother's foot to it? Well, the answer may come next month in Hamilton, where she plans on giving a speech, because that's what unemployed people do. They talk when nobody wants to listen to them. And finally, in a bit of hometown news, Toronto Mayor David Miller surprised the city last week by announcing a $100 million budget surplus. Naturally, in a predictable effort to demonstrate why we can't have nice things, critics have roundly decried the additional funds. Some call it shameless politicking and an attempt to salvage his legacy. But really, who can say that about a mysterious announcement in a news conference making a huge deal out of what's normally just mentioned in a report? But here's what bothers me. He said that it was because of more accurate year-end accounting. As opposed to what? Slightly sloppy year-beginning accounting? I just don't want to look at these numbers, you guys. Just add a couple zeros and call it a night. Why are they teenage girls? Because that's my favorite accent, Danny Viola. Stop making fun of me. Taking particular offense to this was the Toronto Star, which tragically diverted attention away from stories about edible placenta and love connections on GO Transit to actually report on municipal politics. They called it cynical, deceitful, political theater. When asked for comment, the mayor donned a fur coat, threw a pile of $100 bills into the air and said, "Every time you come around town, you make it rain." In other news, Lindsay Lohan's fighting a baby. No, it's not what you think, although if you won money on that bet, you're a sick bastard. She's actually launched a $100 million lawsuit against E-Trade, an online trading site. According to Lohan's lawyers, because who else has the balls to take on an 18-month-old than celebrity lawyers, the company made a parody of her life in their Super Bowl commercial. In the ad, the baby, named McAllister, is talking to his girlfriend and makes reference to someone called the milkaholic Lindsay, to which Lohan took offense. She is aware that milk in this case actually refers to milk and not something you freebase, right? The best part of this whole lawsuit is that her lawyers claim that her name is akin to that of Oprah or Madonna, in that just by saying Lindsay, you know who is being talked about. Like, dude, I totally Lindsay'd that car last night. Or, bro, it's been such a rough week, I just need to snort some Lindsay. Or my personal favorite, when that cop punched that Thai prostitute in the Brittany, he had to do so much smack, he turned into a Lindsay. And now I'd like to welcome back to the Not So Much News, the one, and thankfully the only, Dr. Danny Viola.
Whoa, Anand, I'm gonna have to stop you right there.
What? Why?
Yeah, that doctor thing is kinda done. Apparently you need something called a medical license to be a real doctor.
Yeah, Danny, I don't know why I thought you had one.
I'm telling you, it's those fat cats sitting in their ivory towers who are killing us little guys with their laws and regulations. You know, they took my office, they took my lab coat, and they don't even let me do the doctor voice anymore. I, for one, am pissed off. This is America, pal. Freedom of speech.
There are so many things wrong with that, Danny. So what have you got for us today?
Well, after I was forbidden to practice medicine, I was lonely, depressed. Then I realized, what is the best medicine? The answer, of course, laughter. It's what I prescribe most of my patients. Wonder what they're doing now.
Oh, dear Lord.
So anyways, I worked my way up from the bottom, and with a lot of hard work and after writing a lot of fake prescriptions for people in the biz, I was able to make a name for myself as a comedian. Personally, I like to think of myself as a young Dane Cook and a little bit of Richard Nixon thrown in there, back when he was cool, you know.
Really? That is your description? Okay, buddy, let us have it.
Okay, hold on to your hats, because this is going to be pretty wild. Did you hear that members of the previous Apollo missions are mad at President Obama for canceling NASA's Constellation moon landing program? They say, they say that the experience is out of this world.
What's that? We couldn't get anyone else but Danny? Look, Danny,
Whoa, wait for it now. Come on, I got more. It's me, I got more. Apparently, a study of American birds shown that birds are getting smaller as the climate gets warmer. When a young bird was asked why he was so small, he replied by saying he wasn't sure, as it's hard to concentrate seeing as he just got laid and all. Oh yes, he just got laid. That is hilarious.
Danny, that joke didn't make sense. You started with a scientific study and then moved into a very strange bird sex joke.
Come on, Anand, sex sells, and on the other hand, everyone loves birds. Put the two together, and frankly, I've seen the videos on your computer, and don't come near my family ever again. You might even say with that joke, I killed two birds with one stone. Man, I'm gold.
All right, enough with the bird puns, Danny.
Why am I ruffling your feathers?
Stop doing that.
To quote the Raven, Anand, nevermore, nevermore. By the way, have you seen Juliana? Because when I left the bushes, she was still sleeping, but it's been a couple hours since then, and I don't want any weirdos to start following her, you know? There's some weird guys out there now.
You're not allowed to see her anymore, Danny. That's what the judge said. And now for all the news you didn't need to know, this is the Not So Much News in a minute. A Belgian newspaper did something revolutionary in its latest edition. They made it three-dimensional. The ads and pictures were in 3D, but the text was not. Yes, because you're not a complete tool for reading the paper on the subway until you're wearing blue and red glasses. Two men are in custody in Cyprus after they are accused of stealing the deceased body of former President Tassos Papadopoulos. The two men supposedly raided his tomb in December and held the body for ransom. Apparently no one told them that dead presidents don't mean much in any country these days. A Dutch nurses union plans on launching a campaign designed to fight for their rights. What kind of rights? The rights that say a patient can't ask for sex as part of their standard care. My question is, who has this worked on, and do I need to go injure myself in the Netherlands? A man in Wichita, Kansas was roughed up by his drug dealer after he tried to pay for crack with Monopoly money. To make matters worse, Lindsay Lohan is now suing him for unsuitable use of her likeness. And finally, a provincial party in Canada is apologizing for the use of the Twin Towers to promote a pig roast. Members of the party invited a firefighter who was rescued from 9/11 and sent out flyers with the buildings burning in the background. Now, I don't really have a joke here, but I think it's slightly unclassy to use burning buildings in a terrorist event to promote pig roasts. Well, that's all we got here for the Not So Much News on RUtv. I'm Anand Ram, and remember, don't pay for drugs with money that is pink. Good night. saw it ahead of me and I'm just like, time to think. Okay, make the general joke.